Hey, hey, happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Get Paid with Creative Nomad. I am Creative Nomad, Shalanda Elise. So, hey, today we are on another eye. Give me 1 second. As you guys see, I'm in a different setup because unlike being an actor or a writer, I'm an artist, like an artist. So I am in the hallway right now because, it's the only spot I have to record right now. So we just got to make it work. Okay. We got to make it do what it do. So this is a part of the process. And today we're talking about initiative. Initiative. And see, here's the thing. I am dedicated to all of my crafts and I initiate shit that got to get done because y'all know my goal is not to be fucking co-living with a bunch of strangers for an extended period of time. Okay, like this is fucking ridiculous. So anyway, I don't want to go off onto that whole thing, but welcome. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe. I hope you're enjoying the series. If this is your first episode, stay till the end. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you'll get something from it. And today, again, we're talking about initiative. So I'm going to be like all over the place because the lighting sucks. It's dim, it's dark. I can't see. And I got shadows coming at me like a mofo. So y'all know I have all my little notes here. So I have to struggle to see them in this dim, shadowy lighting. So just ignore all of the sounds you're going to hear. Like I say, you guys know I co-live and I live in a house full of I guess other kind of artists. I don't know, people that just don't need like artist working space or private space or no other podcasters in here or content creators or graphic artists or anything like that. So thanks for being patient, you guys. So with initiative, the first thing I have is to take charge. Take charge of our lives, of what needs to be done, of our goals. Take initiative of, what it is that you want to do, whatever it is. Sometimes we feel like we bite off more than we can chew. But again, I think that comes down to just lack of preparation, lack of really knowing where we're trying to go. So take the initiative to really um, guide yourself where you're trying to go. It may sound kind of crazy, like guide yourself, but I sent a message to my mentor earlier as I was getting my outline together, thinking about all the things I have on my next 12-month list going into July 2021, right? So I'm thinking like, being over 40, there's a lot of unfucking that we have to do to ourselves. Especially the more creative you are, the more talented and gifted you are, the more you're growing up, and people see all these different things out of you. And so you get bombarded with all these different directions that everyone thinks you should be going in. And then you have your ideas of where you see your life and where you want to go. And you kind of get drowned out. Your voice gets drowned out. So taking the initiative to do what you want to do and to guide your own life, the older we get, it gets muddier and muddier and muddier because we get on this we get in this maze, right? We get in this maze of trying to catch the cheese, but we're not in control of the cheese itself that we're after, right? Like, I like pepper jack cheese, but I'm running around here chasing fucking Swiss. And, Swiss is okay, it's all right, but when am I going to decide to take the initiative to say, why the fuck am I chasing this fucking oily ass, kind of nasty Swiss cheese when I really want to be chasing pepper jack? I like spicy shit. That's what I want. I want pepper jack cheese. So taking charge of our own life, like everything else in this series, is essential. Hey, hey. How's it going, Lexus? Welcome. Time to get paid. Yes, that's right. That's right. Y'all, lady, when I tell you, that what I just put on my next 12-month list, I'm fucking terrified. I'm terrified in a good way. But I just found another YouTuber that has me even more motivated now. So pretty much my point is, with initiative and taking charge and doing what needs to be done without being told or asked is really a a big part of deciding for your own self what you want to do with your life. It seems so simple until you go to do it. You know what I mean? It seems like, oh, yeah, until you go to say, okay, I'm finally going to fucking move out of the country. I've said this since I was a little girl. I've said it since 2013. I've made the decision twice and reneged on it twice. And when I really started planning the steps I need to take to move, the shit really just had me like, okay, what, kind of stuck, right? Like, kind of stuck like that. And then I encountered this YouTuber that just sent a level of calm over me. And he's a nomad as well. I think his channel name is Single Dad Nomad, some shit like that. So I'm like, another nomad. Okay, dope. And the fact that I, once again, but really took it a step further in taking charge of the direction of my life. You guys know I've spoke about it several times. Once you finally set in stone your intentions, the universe opens the shit up for you. And depending on how well you've focused on your manifestation, it can be like instantly, you know what I mean? Or within a matter of hours or days. But taking charge, doing what needs to be done without being told or asked, it's really essential when it comes to being an owner, when it comes to, goddamn it, raising a household, a family. It kind of goes back to decisiveness, right? Being able to make a decision, being able to trust yourself, right? To me, that is initiative. Being able to trust your own instincts, being able to trust the decisions that you're making for your life, not someone else, for your business, for your position. Even if you're an employee, taking initiative is what gets raises, right? That's what gets promotions, taking the initiative, not having to be asked to do something. You've made an assessment accurately, you see what needs to be done, and you feel like you can do it top notch. So do it. Do it. Take that initiative. And this is a part of moving up. This is a part of the process of growth, advancing, moving forward, moving up, you know. So we want to always be taking the initiative. We want to always be assessing our situations to see where we can have a better outcome for ourselves, to see where we can initiate a different, what's the word I'm looking for? Different access or different resources, or making ourselves more accessible or less accessible, whatever, however it may apply in your world. Taking the initiative is very underdone, but very much rewarded. I don't want to say overrated or underrated. It's underdone, but it's highly rewarded. And those that do take the initiative get the rewards and see how rewarding it is to take the initiative versus having the attitude of, that's not my position. That's not my job. I didn't get hired for that. That's not in my job description. But then someone comes in, been there less time than you have, and they take the initiative. They are easily accessible. They go above and beyond. They, you know what I mean? Not so much to the point to where they're just being a puppet, but they have intentions. They have a goal in mind. And you may not know what that goal is. More than likely you won't, right? This is just a coworker. But you see their actions. You see they take initiative. You don't hear them saying, oh, that's not my job description. But you see that they've gotten promoted before you and they've been there less time than you. You see that they've gotten a raise before you and they've been there less time than you. And now they're making more money than you. Now they're in a higher position than you because they take initiative. They may not want to be there forever, but they're laying the foundation for what they need to get paid, right? It all goes back to the P.A.I.D. They're doing the groundwork to ensure that they will get paid, whether it's a higher level at this company or the next company or in their own company. It's all um, relevant. It's all relevant to your life, and it only benefits you to be a great employee. It really only benefits you. It doesn't damage the company when you're an asshole employee. It's an inconvenience. Yes, now they got to fire you, put money into hiring and training someone else, et cetera, et cetera. But it really hasn't hurt the company because you chose to be an asshole employee or a mediocre employee. Do you see what I'm saying? All that means is you'll be the same type of business owner if you even get there. You'll be the same type of employer if you even get there beyond just hiring your kids to, work for you. Like taking the initiative, being able to accurately assess the situation. It's really all a part of accountability. It's all a part of holding ourselves accountable, being responsible, doing the shit that needs to be done, like we talked about in episodes ago, doing the hard shit, doing the boring shit, doing the non glamorous things, and doing it before it's like, okay, now you have no choice but to do it. That is a part of initiative, accountability, doing the shit. Like, don't procrastinate until the last minute because then you know what's going to happen. You already know what's going to happen. You're going to, am I too close, you guys? You're going to half-ass it or try to take shortcuts, and then it's going to end up taking you longer because it's just not going to be acceptable to even your standards. So you're going to be like, fuck, here I am now, really down to the deadline, really down to the wire. And so it's just never a good thing to be on the end of, that's not my position, or to try and build a business, to try and build a company without having that, um, without possessing that trait of taking the initiative, taking charge, Period. You should not have to be asked. You shouldn't, the same way no one had to ask me to be creative, to want to be a business owner. No one had to ask me that. I just realized from young, working for someone else sucks, being on someone else's schedule, getting paid what they feel like I should be making. It all sucks. Like, that's all bullshit. What makes them different from me? What makes them any better than me? Well, how they utilize their 24 hours, how they take initiative, how they, how strongly they believe in themselves. Their whole foundation of what we talk about each episode, P.A.I.D. That's pretty much the difference. And that's the only difference. There's no humanly difference. There's no supernatural difference. That's just it. So once I implement these things, once I make sure I initiate what needs to be done, I fucking stay consistent. I grind it out when I don't want to, when I'm tired. Um, just keep going, believe that I will get there. I'll get there. Absolutely. And keep paying it forward. Also, I strongly believe in paying it forward. You have to. Every little way, every step along the way, just constantly in life, in humanity, pay it forward. When becoming a business owner, or when, if you're not a parent, right, and you know you want to be a parent, this is something we used to talk about all the time. Baby, if you're not a parent yet, but you know that you want to be a parent, it would behoove you to start buying Girl Scout cookies, baby. It would behoove you to start ordering from your coworkers when they bring their kids fundraiser things. That have the different little buckets of cookie dough or just all kind of different little shit. Pay it forward. So although you're not a parent now, when your coworker comes around that their child is having their school fundraiser, order something. Order 3 things. Pay it forward. So when the time comes, when it's your kid in the next generation, you want the same to be reciprocated. You don't want your kid to be the only one, or you don't want to be one of the parents that gotta buy up $800 worth of shit from your own kid. It's happened. you don't wanna you don't wanna be that parent just because you never supported nobody else's kids. You never supported nobody else's school fundraiser. I strongly believe in paying it forward. So, purchase from small business owners, your friends that have businesses, support their business, support their efforts and their endeavors. Um, your local neighborhood, your neighborhood mom and pops, your black owned, especially if you are black and you want to become a business owner. Start supporting black owned businesses, you know what I mean? So that when you come around, you'll get that support from not only the black community, but just humanity as a whole. So take the initiative, take charge, assess every single situation and interaction. We talk about this in just about every episode as well, because it is important. I think it's very vital all day, every day, throughout every moment, not like tediously, but just assess your situations, assess your interactions with people. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's all a part of not only accountability, but knowing yourself, getting to know yourself, getting to know what triggers you, what annoys you, how you can respond, learning to be more patient, learning to slow your tongue down or think before you speak, or, whatever it is that we need to get better at, that we need to master or sharpen. These are all things that fall under, in my opinion, the umbrella of initiative. because you have to initiate the change in order for the change to happen. No one else is going to do it. You have to initiate whatever that thing is that you see need to be changed, or enhanced or altered or whatever the case may be. It still comes down to you have to be the one to take initiative. One thing that I personally love about life, even through the rough childhood ups and downs, and in the work world, I really, in the corporate world, I found that I really love it, um, about being accountable is being accountable. I like the fact that if the shit all goes right, it's on you. If the shit all goes wrong, it's on you. So when it comes to our life, our choices, it's the same exact way. When you take initiative to um, take control and take charge of a situation or your life, and you are an accountable, responsible, mature adult, however the turnout of that situation is, but let's say the turnout was less than stellar, less than how you visualized it when you went into it. It is much easier because you initiated this whole thing anyway. It's much easier to accept responsibility for what did not go right, assess it, and figure out how you can do it better next time. To notice where you went wrong or where you made the misstep. That is what I love. When it goes right, you can do the same thing and see how you can do it better. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, okay, great. I wonder if next time I do, you see what I'm saying? So, accountability and looking inward versus pointing the fingers outward, it just cleans the glass a lot more crystal clear. It doesn't leave streaks like when you blame, you're just muddying it up. It doesn't leave fingerprints. It's just a crystal clear image of yourself, of who you are versus who you want to be. So I think that's just a win-win. As an employee, taking the initiative, getting noticed for that, getting uh, rewarded for that. It's a win-win, win-win-win, win-win for you, win-win for the company. Everyone really benefits from all of us individually taking the initiative to do what needs to be done. Everybody benefits. Even the assholes who say, oh, that's not my job description. I don't get paid enough to do that. They still benefit from it. You know what I mean? And they also suffer from it too, because usually when you're that one, when you're on that end, that gets noticed as well. And so it's like now, you're in the ringer, or they're going to run you through the ringer because you're just a fucking asshole employee. And you're really not even next to the person who takes initiative, next to you, right? Next to you who takes initiative, this person looks even more worthless. So it'll just be a random fucking Wednesday and you'll get called in to get the pink slip because the boss will take the initiative to say, you know what, I don't think we need this person because we got this person over here who's phenomenal. They take the initiative to do what needs to be done. Did you see that they redid this whole spreadsheet? Now it's so much better. We've even gained 3 new clients. You're expendable, baby. Deuces. Deuces. So be on the side of initiating whatever. One thing that in business settings, or I won't say business, I'll say networking settings, I've gotten better at initiating the introduction, being shy and introverted, I've never initiated an introduction. Holding a conversation is effortless, but I had never initiated them. So I've noticed the difference, right, from my younger life, being in networking, being at networking events and in corporate settings, versus now being over 40, specifically, again, still learning, but specifically learning how to make myself um, a business minded entrepreneur capitalist, right? A business owner. So now I get much different reception when I initiate the introduction. Now my confidence shows off top. I am confident, but it looks like insecurity when I'm in a networking event and I'm just standing against the wall, or I'm just looking like some shy little girl, you know? When I'm in there and I'm walking through, introducing myself initially, right? Shaking hands, smiling, greeting people, I get a whole different reception. So when I tell them who I am, what I do, they're listening a lot more attentively. They're a lot more interested in who I am, what I do, what my business is, because I initiated the contact. And that's really a huge icebreaker when it comes to professional networking. It's a huge, huge, huge icebreaker. So I've been able to contrast and see the difference in myself and how people respond to taking the initiative as now a solopreneur business owner versus taking the initiative as a corporate America employee versus taking the initiative as a, oh, this is perfect, as an essential employee, right? In my younger years, first starting off. So it's really the common bond, the common thread between all of those generations or all of those decades of taking initiative is, once again, I was rewarded in each and every situation. Anytime I take the initiative to, et cetera, et cetera, you can fill in the blank. I always have a much, much better outcome, reception, just everything is just better. And it took me a long time to get there when it comes to the introductions and shit like that. It took me a long time, 20 plus years, to fucking get to that point to where I'm comfortable and confident enough to initiate an introduction. And that was a huge feat for me. I wasn't, I mentioned it, I think, on a couple other episodes. You know, I had a girlfriend growing up who, when we were young, I remember we were like 12, and she used to be able to talk to adults so effortlessly. And that may not sound like anything special, but for me, that was like, wow. To me, that was amazing. I remember standing there watching her talk to an adult, like so mature and like she was an adult herself. It's just, I don't know if it's because I'm from St. Louis and, you know, it was like you had a kid's place or what it was, but that was hella, hella, hella impressive to me. What's happening? Hey, what's up, Queen Candace? Welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to this episode. We're just talking about initiative. So yeah, I thought that was like the dopest thing to me, that, you know, this young girl was able to just speak so confidently and comfortably and maturely with adults. Crazy, right? Like, that's silly, but that was me. So taking the initiative to introduce myself, taking the initiative to, um, oh my God, when I was doing the MCA, when I was doing that, going door to door has always been the like toughest thing to me. And it isn't a door to door thing, but I was going to small business owners, small auto mechanic shops, just small little businesses, small businesses. So that took a lot of confidence for me, and courage, because I was terrified doing it. The confidence came from believing in the product, because I had MCA as well on Hotel Honda, and knowing that I knew the information, so I didn't feel unprepared. I didn't feel unprepared anytime I went to talk to them. And then every time I would get an objection, I'd write it down, go back and work on getting smooth at overcoming those objections. So then when they come to me, when they would say these things, I wasn't like caught, like a deer in the headlights, like, oh my God, unprepared. They'd say it, boom, I come right back smooth and just as charismatic as the Libra that I am. And, that was it. That was it. Initiative. I had to get to that point. I had to, not doing, they say practice makes perfect. Someone else said something that I really like a lot better, and it is, practice makes more practice, or something like that. I think I'm gonna have to find that. I'm gonna have to find that and bring it back, because I really like that. The point of it is, there's no such thing as perfection, but practice makes you um, more. I just said the fucking word. More prepared. Practice makes you more prepared for what could happen, for what may, come. You practice so many times, it's easier for you to understand how the flow of whatever it is you're doing. So if a problem come, it's easier for you to fix it, because you practiced, you worked at it, you've done this so many times. So now you know little tips and tricks to fix the problem, to cover this up, to, a shortcut to redo this. But perfection, no such thing. And I said the same thing when I was weightlifting. Strive for progress, not perfection. Strive for progress, not perfection. So, initiative, that is, um, if it's not one of your strong points, may I recommend you work on taking the initiative. Little things at home, or if you have kids, you can initiate being volunteering to be a chaperone. You can, do something before they ask. This is the whole point of initiating. So if it's not even, if you don't think it's field trip season or nothing like this is happening, contact the school or your teacher and ask them how you can volunteer to be a chaperone, or how you can, or what you can do. Initiate some form of making something better. I can't see y'all. Exactly. So you feel me? Stay in a kid's place. Stay in a kid's place. And see, me growing up, it was a certain way. We had to talk to adults. I don't know, some adult, like we couldn't talk with just that straightforward and that level of confidence, and that, like we're peers. I don't know. That's just, it was impressive though. It was hella impressive to me. I just thought that was the dopest thing ever. but we were from two different places. She's from Minnesota. Um, I love her to death. We've known each other since we were young, 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 young. Um, and yeah, so she's from Minnesota, born and raised. That's her home. Um, and we just, have two totally different upbringings and dynamics. So I was very, very impressed by that. That was super dope. And I remember constantly trying to tap into that growing up, but I didn't have that upbringing to have that level of confidence and strength and power in my voice when talking to adults when I was that young. Mm-mm. But that's dope. That's dope. And it's funny because now, as adults, and we're age mates. She's actually 7 days older than me. Her birthday is 1 week before mine, October 8th, and I'm October 15th, and we're Libras. But so her voice, her adult, mature voice is, I don't want to say deeper. I don't think I have a deep voice, but I have some strength in my voice. And, it's not just high and light. And her voice is like a little more than that. You know what I mean? So imagine when we were young, when we were like 12 and shit. I don't know, we probably sound the same or similar, but I feel like I sound like a 12-year-old girl, where she spoke like a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old. And I probably spoke like a fucking 10-year-old. Not as far as language and verbiage and, gibberish and no shit like that, but I mean more so really my tone, because my mother was not as, fucking all together and, express yourself. Hell nah. Nope. Which is why I probably have a lot of, she, with her being my mom and growing up in the house with me, she saw firsthand exactly how creative I am and how much I did and how many different things, I was always into. So I think she had the biggest influence on, I should do this, I should do that, I should do blah, blah, blah. And then other family members, period, because they saw, oh my God, you're a great writer. Oh my God, you're a great artist. Oh my God, you're cute fashions. Oh, okay. Just everything, everything. And now here I am again, still initiating the life uh, that I want for myself, fucking finally. And I'm just sitting here like, there's a lot of clutter in here. Every time I think I've uncluttered a goddamn closet, there's a trap door in that mofo, and I'm like, oh, there's more shit. Oh, okay. So now I have to really, level this out. And I have to do it because I don't have time, right? We have to be decisive. We have to be able to make decisions based on our goals and knowing where we're going and what's best for ourselves, right? I'm telling y'all, it is not an easy task, especially when you are your own consultant. You are your own uh, motivator, cheerleader, your own upliftment, you're your own everything. I don't need to break it all down one by one. Your own everything. It's just, it takes a lot longer to unclutter and to peel through all of the layers. But one thing's for sure is it takes initiative to even get started. It takes initiative to get started, to say, okay, I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to figure out why this, why that. I want to figure out who I am. I want to know where I want to go in my life. And it sounds crazy. It probably sounds crazy to the younger ones, which is why I talk to so many of the under 30-year-olds that haven't gotten their direction yet, because that is the societal pattern of the have-nots in this world. And that crosses all color lines. The haves and the have-nots crosses all color lines, right? So the older you get, they start talking this in high school and college even more, because the older you get, the more layers you have to peel back to get to the core of who you are and what it is that you want to do, that has all been drowned out, copy and pasted over, just all the shit that's been piled on top of you. You have to get it out. The older you get, the more shit that becomes. The more experience in life you have, spouses, children, just travel, living in multiple places. It just, again, it doesn't get any easier. So we really try and stress all these things to the youth and the young adults, because it's a lot easier to say, you know what? Fuck that. This is what I want to do with my life, and this is what I'm going to focus on right here, right now. Boom. That's it. And I've watched under 25-year-olds grind it out, know what they wanted to do, and become boss ass under 30-year-olds. I've seen it. I've seen it for myself. And the one thing I admire about them is they know what it is that they want to do. They're still young. They're still young. And so and then that generation, right? It's not like the Gen Xers, because they weren't raised by them goddamn baby boomers. So they were raised by us or the millennials, right? Depending on which group we're talking about. So they are much more strong-minded, strong-willed, and just into living their own life. The ones that are on the end of knowing what it is they want to do, when they see it, when they pinpoint it, or when they see an inspiration of someone else, their age mate, that, oh, 3 years is all they've been doing this, and now they balling out of control. Okay, I can do that. And then they go and they do it just like that. Just like that. No second thoughts, no back and forth, no hemming and hawing, no weighing the pros and cons umpteen times. They make a fucking decision, they do it, and now they're boss ass under 30-year-olds. And to me, that is fucking admirable. That is admirable. Is it just that easy for me at 45, at 42? Was it? No, no, because I got a lot of unfucking to do of myself. I got a lot of unclutter still to get the hell out, because I still weigh the pros and cons. I'm still like, am I sure? You know what I mean? All while still moving. And then what I do is just grab it and say, okay, come on, let's go. Let's go. Yep. I left you. I'm pick you up. So that's how I'm dealing with it now. That's how I'm doing my thing now. Everything that comes that hit me when I was younger, I'm like, yep, pick it up, let's go. Oh, you could fit in a car. Well, I got a whole motherfucking clown car full of all of my talents and gifts and interests and shit that I wanted to do. It's all on board, and it's all under my Creative Nomad, and it works. It works. So, my creativenomad.com website is going to be fitting to its name. And then from there, see, this is how I'm unfucking myself, right? From there, as I'm actively doing and generating income from the different creative outlets that I am, the one that speaks to me the most and has spoken to me the most from my younger days, especially because there none of it is anything like brand new. Oh, I just encountered this. But that'll be the one that I take with me to say, okay, now the Creative Nomad can go ahead and nomad out. You know what I mean? So I have my cyber life, I have my business going, I have my art, my creativity, I have my fashion, I have just me living in the essence of me, period. Not anything other than, God damn it, that's Shalanda. Yep, that's you. Yep, that's her. That's her. And it all will make sense. And for me, that is the purpose of life. Not to give ourselves fucking hernia or getting sick and diarrhea and all kind of shit going to these jobs that we hate, absolutely despise, disgust, working with people that we can't stand the sight of, just doing shit that we hate. Life is too short for that. We're not living 300, 600, and 900 years. Life is too fucking short to do a bunch of shit that you hate, that you despise, that is physically making you sick. What is the purpose? What's the purpose of that? Who is that benefiting? Doesn't benefit your family because when you get home, you're dead ass tired, you're sick, you're ill, you don't feel well ever. It doesn't benefit you because you're the one that has to go through these things and feel like this. Doesn't benefit your company because you aren't doing your best because you hate the fucking place and it's physically tearing you apart. So life's too short. Life is too short. Nowadays, if you hear someone live to be 100, that's like break out the confetti. 101, holy shit. So life is way too short to do shit you hate, to look like everybody else, to just look like a clone and be a sheep. Life is way too short for that. So take the initiative to make an accurate assessment of your life, of who you are, of your future goals and plans. If it takes you really getting in the mirror and looking yourself in the eyes, deep into who you are, to try and recall that child you, because that is going to be one of the purest essences of who you are and what it is you truly desire, right? May have been altered, along the way, or added to or taken away from along the way, but definitely, um, it probably won't be something, if you're over 30 or over 40, it won't be something that you like just encountered. If so, it'll be the next, you'll be on to, like your third or fourth or fifth career already. It won't be like the first thing, out the gate, hopefully. So just take an accurate assessment of your life, what you want, where you're trying to get to. take the initiative, take charge, and just head in that direction. Head in that direction. It's scary as shit. You guys, I've made the decision to leave this whole goddamn continent. And it's scary as fuck. But living in this country, being born in this country, I've met a shit ton of people that moved away from their home country. So I can do it. I'm not the first, the third, or the 300th. Like, I can do this. I'm not even the first person in the 21st century to do it by myself. It just sucks, but it's got to get done. Yeah, the guy that I encountered, hey, a view is a view. He also did a video. I watched it before I went live. 11 reasons. What did he do? 11 reasons why you should leave the U.S. And it was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting. I can't say that I disagree with any of his points, but I like that he came from a lighter perspective, especially the one he said, "You'll look better." No, he said, you're not getting laid in the U.S. You'll get laid. He said, you'll get laid. I said, okay. It was just funny. It's just funny. But yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. And, I really had to earlier make myself serious about that and write down everything that I need to do. I've been researching it for a couple of weeks now. This isn't just out of the blue. But a couple of days ago, I noticed that, okay, Shalanda, you made one phone call, got a, recording, and you haven't done anything else. Like, you have to get on this. And so today I finally decided to put a real date on it, and not to just fly by night, I'm like, no, you move to Arizona just abruptly, and that's not your thing. You move, well, it's not my thing. I would just up and move. But I did that. I moved here from Arizona just abruptly. I will not just, I cannot just leave the continent in a matter of a couple of months. So I'm not even going to put myself through that stress and cause myself those unnecessary fucking lupus flare-ups and shingles outbreaks and none of that shit. So I'm gonna give myself full 12 months to get shit together and get out of here, get my businesses still profitable, so that I can, really work independently and really just need an internet connection and, somewhere to ship from and things like that. So that is that is what I was doing earlier that had me feeling like, all right, I can do this. I can do this. It's exciting and scary, but it's got to get done, and it's going to get done. And so you guys are going to be on this journey with me. So let's go. Let's go for it. And that is the end of today's episode, you guys. Initiative. Tune in for the next one. We will be talking. We're on D again. So this week also, because we're going into Saturday, I'm doing the last episode tomorrow. Sunday, we're going to be off, so we're not doing the P.A.I.D celebration on Sunday. And then Monday, we'll be back on track with P again. So next week, which is Monday is week 8. Okay, so Monday will be in week 8. Wow. And it'll be our normal Monday through Friday schedule. All right, you guys. Again, all the information is in the description box. If you want to be a link in our P&A accountability chain, email, that is all in the description, in the description. I think I said that. All right, you guys, I am going to get out of here. Take care of yourselves. Happy Friday. Celebrate whatever progress you've made this week. This is what I would like for all of us to do this evening. Nothing over the top, but it has been a wild fucking ride. This 6 months has been a wild ride. So, this Friday, this evening, I would like for us to just have a nice evening celebration, however that looks. If it's a bottle of wine, if it's just a glass of wine, if it's a nice indica bowl like it's going to be for me, then that's what it is. If it's a sunset mountaintop view, that's what it is. And then I would love for you guys to comment on what you did on tomorrow's episode if you're able to join, or just comment in this video how you were able to relax and celebrate whatever you were proud of getting through this week, or just getting through the shit of the 6 months in 2020, right? We're still here. All right, y'all. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not. What are you waiting on? Click the bell so you don't miss these lives. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.